In order to receive new in your life, you first have to provide new to your life. When you choose to bring new to your life in the sense where you bring new emotion, new responses, new energy, and this comes from doing new activities, building new habits, or just choosing to react differently to things that are in your life, that is when you are choosing to begin receiving new in your life. Because when you provide new responses, when you provide new emotion, when you provide new energy, when you provide new habits, when you provide new action, it's inevitable that you will receive new responses, new energy, new outcomes in your life. So, in order to receive new in your life, if you're looking to receive new in your life, you first have to provide that new energy, that new action, that new habit, that new emotion to your life. When you gift new to your life, emotion, energy, all of that, you are going to receive new in your life. And this thought essentially came from the quote, "To acquire something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done." So that quote is essentially the same as, to get something new, you have to give something new to life. Two things are always given when you do something you've never done. The first is increased confidence, and the second is a new realization. And you may think to yourself, like, no, like I do things I've never done all the time. Honestly, it doesn't boost my confidence whatsoever. But listen, maybe it doesn't feel like it in the moment that it has boosted your confidence, that you are doing something that you've never done before. But let me assure you that when you do things you've never done before, you are heading in a different direction and you are choosing to step outside of your comfort zone in order to get to a place you've never been before. That in itself is confidence. And maybe it doesn't feel like the most confident thing because it's uncomfortable, but it's just because you're allowing your body to get used to something it's never done before. It's really just your body. It's like, oh, I've never been here, I've never done this before. Your palms may sweat, you may feel nervous, you may feel like you don't know what you're doing, but that's only because your mind has come up with these scenarios of like, oh, you've never done this before, this is what may happen. Oh, you've never done this before, like you should be embarrassed the first time you're doing it. It's just you're not doing it perfect. Like your mind may come up with all these different scenarios and all these comments, which allows your body to feel nervous. All of these things may happen, which may lead to you feeling like you don't have confidence, or you're not confident enough, or whatever the case may be. But just the very fact that you allowed yourself to do something you've never done, to go somewhere you've never been, in itself is confidence. And the more you do those things, the more they will feel natural, and sooner or later you will realize that all of the things you have done in order to get somewhere you've never been, it has built up over time into extreme ultimate confidence. Like you don't realize the little moments really build up into the overall change. The first time you do something, you may not feel that confident, but just the fact that you did it and it's something you've never done before in itself is confidence. I know I've repeated myself a lot, but I just want to make sure whoever is listening to that hears that. Like that in itself is confidence, and you should be proud of yourself that you've done something you've never done in order to get somewhere you've never been. And then heading into the next thing, it's a new realization. Every single time you do something you've never done in order to get to somewhere you've never been, you are creating a space for yourself to come to new realizations about yourself, about the world that you are choosing to live in, like your perspective, the way you are seeing things. There's always a new realization. You realize your likes, your dislikes, what you want to do more of, what you want to improve on, what you already excel in. So really, when it comes to doing something you've never done before to get to somewhere you've never been, there are no cons. I see no cons. You're increasing your confidence, whether it feels like it or not, and you're making a new realization that you need in order to navigate which direction you want to head next. There may be some uncomfortability because your body's never been in the situation and your mind may be telling you different scenarios that could happen because it's trying to protect you. But honestly, it just helps you in elevating and moving to the next space, to the next chapter, and leveling up and elevating your life. And it may not feel like it in the moment because there's so many different emotions and there's all this new. But once all the fog clears, you're able to see why you needed that moment. It is literally unavoidable to go somewhere you've never been without doing things you've never done. it is unavoidable. There's always a new energy, there's always a new action, there's always a new emotion that goes into receiving something that you've never received before. Because when you really think about it, let's just say you don't use the word no, like ever. You're always like, yes, of course, yes, yes, yes. Oh, no, it's fine, yes. You know, like you just always say yes. Let's say that's always been what you provide to life, right? Even if it's things that you don't favor, or even if it's things that don't feel great. And then let's say one day you start to provide a new word, which is no. You're like, no, sorry, I can't do it. No, I'm choosing not to do this. No, I'm going to prefer to do this. This is just something that feels better for me. When you say no, it's literally one new thing that you are providing to your life, just one word. It's a new thing that you are providing to your life, but from that one word, from that one new thing that you are providing, you are choosing to open the doors to a bunch of other opportunities, a bunch of new experiences, a bunch of new emotions, a bunch of new energy, because you've never utilized the energy of no. You've never utilized the energy of boundaries. You've never utilized the emotion of, wow, like I stood on business. So when you place yourself in that new energy, in that new emotion, in that new experience of doing something you don't usually do, it's going to be opening the door to other directions in your life. Just from something as simple as saying something you don't usually say, or reacting a way that you usually react. That's something that really changed for me in the past year. Choosing to react differently to things that I would typically react one way about. It's like, since there was new energy to my reactions, since there was new energy to my emotions, my world began to change. And that's because I was providing new. So then I started to receive new from people, from experiences, from opportunities, from my own self-love, my own self-respect. Like, it was all new. I was receiving new. And that's because I was providing new. A different sense of boundaries, a different sense of reaction, a different sense of response. So it just goes to show, anytime that you provide new, you will receive new. It's inevitable. This brings me to a little snippet of what's going to be happening next. I am moving out of the country. So if you've made it this far, I will share I am moving out of the country for a bit in February. And honestly, it's because I want to explore and uncover new parts of myself and my journey. And when it comes to everything, like, there's so many plans that I have for myself. And I know that immersing myself in new energy, new connections, new environments, new everything, that means I'm going to be receiving a lot of new. I just don't see why not. Like, I literally do not see why not. And it's not forever. But, like, that's the point. Like, things are going to be ever evolving, ever changing. Do things that you feel called to do when you can do them. You know? It's like, why not? So I'm super excited about that. You guys will see for yourselves, like, this whole community will see for themselves, like, how things change. Like, we're in this journey together, really. So yes, I'm just all about all things self-development, all things growth. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, that's really what this video sparked from. Like, just knowing that when you immerse yourself in new, when you provide new to your life, you will receive new. New responses, new outcomes, new whatever you desire, new. Okay? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Remember that you are completely capable of becoming the authentic, best version of yourself, and that everything is always working out for you, no matter what it seems like at any given point in time. I will see you guys in the next video.